Hello and welcome back to my channel. Julia here from English Prep Class. In today's video, we'll be looking at the tips for the repeat sentence, what you need to do so that you can pass the repeat sentence. This is because this repeat sentence is going to impact both your speaking score and your listening score. Let's get straight into it. Now, the repeat sentence is the second task in the PTE Speaking, and it's a very important task in the PTE exam as well as in the PTE Speaking. This is because it will be impacting the speaking score and the listening score. What is being tested here, what you're being tested for in this task, will be your speaking skills and your listening skills. How well you're able to speak and how well you're able to listen to hear what the speaker says in the audio that will be played in the exam. Now, this task is very important because it adds like between 40 to 45 marks to your PTE listening. That shows you how relevant this task is. Let us see how you're scored. You're scored for content, for fluency, and for pronunciation. 3 marks for content precisely, 5 marks for fluency, and 5 marks for pronunciation. Now, your fluency and your pronunciation will have more marks than the content. The fluency here will be how well you're able to speak what you hear without taking long pauses, without taking long hesitations. Just try to speak it as naturally as you can. While the pronunciation is your ability to pronounce the word like a native English speaker and not lumping up the words together, and then it will be difficult for computer to pick exactly what you're supposed to say. Now, I wrote down some tips that will be of good help. Now, one thing you should do here, like I said here, just be as simple as possible. Do not be in a rush. I mean, if you're in a rush, you're not going to be getting your fluency score or your pronunciation. Or even if you try to get a high score in fluency, which is still really not possible, it's going to affect your pronunciation score, especially if you're not a native English speaker. The next point I have here is don't struggle to repeat everything. Yeah, you're not being tested for how well you speak, okay? But you're fine, it's a speaking task, but it's not like you have to get everything. Even the exam owners know that it's not possible for you to hear all the words that were said. So keep it simple, okay? Try to repeat as much words as you heard. As much as you heard. Just try to repeat it. Don't try to say everything and then make a mistake where you're trying to repeat it. The next thing I have here is try not to think about the question. Just keep it simple. Listen. Try to focus on the audio, which is very important. Then listen to what the audio has to say and repeat it exactly as you heard it. Have you ever played this game where somebody whispers something to you and says, whisper it to the next person? That's exactly what this task is like. That's always what comes into my mind when I think of this task. So the same thing here is like the audio whispering something to you, and all you need to do is whisper it back to the next person. But in this case, you have to say it loud, okay, so that your microphone or the mouthpiece can pick your voice very well. Another thing I have here is repeat in a clear manner. Like I said before, do not lump your words together, especially because you're trying to be in a hurry. If you're trying to be in a hurry, it's going to impact the pronunciation score, which will not be good for you. Remember that fluency and pronunciation will give you more marks than the content. So try to speak in a clear manner, which is a plus, or which will be a plus for you. Another thing here, try not to be too slow or too fast. Just maintain the same pace as the speaker. In fact, that's actually what your fluency score is about. Try not to, I know people say in the read aloud, you have to read so fast. In fact, in the entire speaking module, I remember the first time I was supposed to write the PTE exam, and the migration agent said to me, Juliet, you have to read very fast. You have to speak very, very fast, for you to get a high score. But for this task, it's not that way. For this repeat sentence, you have to speak as the audio or as the speaker is speaking. That means that you have to follow the same pace and the same flow as the speaker. That way, you're able to get your score for your fluency, which is 5 marks, and another 5 marks for your pronunciation. So these are the basic things. These are the basic points I wish you know about this task. People say they find it difficult to try to retain the things that were said because you're already tense, because you already told yourself that you can't hear. The thing here is listen with your mind and not just with your head or your ear. Listen with your mind. If you need to close your eyes like I used to do, close your eyes and try to hear what the speaker is saying. Now, I try not to think about what the speaker is saying. I just give it back just as I hear it, I give it back. That way, it's very easy for you. So don't try to memorize everything 100%, or before the exam, you go and start memorizing heaps and heaps of questions. You don't need to memorize. Just try to understand what is being said, or try to listen and then give it back or say it back to the audio. That way, you get a high score. Now, we're going to be taking some practices, and let's see how that goes. Now, remember here, they have the longer ones that goes as long as 5 seconds. Some go as long as 6 seconds. Then they have shorter ones that go as 3 seconds, 4 seconds, even 2 seconds. Okay. Now, if they say something like this, the library is behind the cafeteria. You cannot say the library is behind the cafeteria. You can also say the library is behind the cafeteria. That was not what you heard. Remember, if you look at the instruction will say, repeat exactly what you heard. So you have to say the library is behind the cafeteria. That way, you get your score. And we're going to take lots of practices, and we're going to try to do those short ones. We're going to do medium ones, and we're going to do long ones. And let's see how it goes from there. Okay, so we are starting this now. I'm just going to play this one, and let's see.
During the childhood development, the importance of education is stronger than ever.
During the childhood development, the instruction of education is stronger than ever. And see, I even made a mistake, but I continued. So this is how I want you to go on, even if you make a mistake. As long as you remember other words that were there, please just go ahead and mention it, okay?
The temporary library will be closed in the winter break.
The temporary library will be closed in the winter break. So, yeah, I'll do another one now.
Children enjoy a healthy lifestyle when they live in a healthy family.
Children enjoy a healthy lifestyle when they live in a healthy family. Okay? Yeah, so I'll take another one.
A good education helps you recognize yourself and your strengths.
A good education helps you recognize yourself and your strengths. So what happens here is, once the audio finishes playing, you just wait for 1 to 2 seconds before you start speaking. Because there's no beep here after the audio finishes playing. So you don't wait to hear a beep. You just count in your mind 1 second, 2 seconds, and then you repeat exactly what you heard. Remember, what is most important here is the tone and the pace of the speaker, not necessarily the accent. But I always say, if you can mimic the accent, that's good. But if you can't, just keep it simple, keep it natural. You can see they're not struggling, but they're putting emphasis on where it's necessary. All right, that's it. Yeah, easy peasy, hey. All right, so that's the way to go about this task. You don't need to panic. It's just similar to the task in the listening, which is right from dictation. Just take it easy. That way, you'll be able to hear what is being said, and you'll be able to give it back. Okay, now you can find my other videos here on my YouTube channel. Just scroll through the PTE list, you see other videos, and you can follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel. I mean, YouTube tells me that a lot of people watching my videos are not subscribed yet. Please, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.